Hello, everyone. Is the microphone on? Yeah. Hello, everyone. There's no speaker. So I will just speak very loudly. So hello and welcome. We are really excited about today. I am Danielle Minson, and I am the president and interim CEO for the Jewish Federation of Cincinnati. And on behalf of the Jewish Federation and our board chair, Debbie Brandt, we want to welcome each of you, members of the press, our funders, and our partners. We are so glad to be here today at the Chestnut Street Cemetery. So thank you very much for coming. So you may know that this is the oldest Jewish cemetery west of the Alleghenies. And exactly 200 years ago, we purchased the land That was the Chestnut Street Cemetery, and this marks the beginning of Jewish life here in Cincinnati. And we have a lot to tell you today, and so here's the plan. We are here to announce a year-long festival to celebrate Jewish community life and Cincinnati community life and how the two have enriched each other over the past 200 years. And that we're calling the Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial. The Jewish community and the city of Cincinnati, along with dozens of community partners, will commemorate the significant milestone through celebrations, multi-generational programs, and interactive experiences. And after I speak, you will hear from our Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial co-chairs, Kim Hyman and Tamara Harkavy. You will then hear from Kay Geiger, president of PNC Bank. And our last speaker is David Harris, who's the executive director of the Jewish Cemeteries of Greater Cincinnati. And we hope you will come back on Sunday, September 26th for the rededication of this Chestnut Street Cemetery, which will formally kick off the community-wide celebration of 200 years of Jewish life here in Cincinnati. My job today is to give you the big picture for us at the Jewish Federation. But first, I want to give you a few words of history about the Jewish Federation itself. Cincinnati's Jewish Federation is the second oldest Jewish federation in North America. We were founded in 1896 as United Jewish Charities. It brought together 8 agencies under one central administration to fundraise with the objective of helping the poor respect themselves and become self-sustaining through employment. Today, we run programs and fund nonprofits throughout Cincinnati. And our job is to be the community convener, to mobilize for greater good, to represent the Jewish community, and to make Cincinnati and our community a better place to live. One of our core values at Federation is inclusivity. And for us, that means an inclusive community. Therefore, the big picture for us at Federation, what we care about as we help to envision this year-long commemoration and celebration as a community, is community. And by community, I mean the Jewish community, the Cincinnati community, and all of Cincinnati's rainbow of communities. We hope this celebration will weave together Jewish traditions and partnerships to further into the city's fabric, ensuring Cincinnati as a place where immigrants and minorities can continue to have a lasting impact and make a bigger, stronger community quilt. I am already so proud of what the Cincinnati Bicentennial Committee has accomplished in terms of community. I think of community as building bridges and alliances, as well as the ability to share parts of ourselves and our histories that others may not know. And if we use this definition, our community is already ahead of the game. And to highlight this, I want to read to you the list of sponsors and partners that the Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial has woven together as a web to support and enrich its work. The Jewish Federation of Cincinnati, the Jewish Foundation of Cincinnati, PNC Bank, the Hale Foundation, Ohio Humanities Council, Dick Weiland, Fifth Third Bank, Duke Energy Foundation, Procter & Gamble, Kroger, the state of Ohio. And our partners are the Jewish Community Relations Council, the Ish Festival, Jewish Cemeteries of Greater Cincinnati, the Nancy and David Wolf Holocaust and Humanity Center, the Marison JCC of Cincinnati, Hebrew Union College and the Skirball Museum, Cincinnati Museum Center, Arts Wave, the Reds Community Fund, the American Israelite Newspaper, and the Jacob Rader Marcus Center of the American Jewish Archives. I know that's a long and impressive list. And as you can see, the Bicentennial is already working to weave our communities into a larger and stronger tapestry. I'd like to end with a quote from leadership expert Margaret Wheatley. She writes, "There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about." This is really powerful, and this is what we as Cincinnatians do and what we are doing through the Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial. And I hope that as we take part in this year-long celebration, that we learn from each other and from each other, and that our communities discover what we care about together. And that will change our communities for the better. And I can't wait. Thank you all for being here. And now it is my honor to turn it over to our Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial co-chairs, Kim Hyman and Tamara Harkavy.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited about this. We're very excited about working with our community to celebrate the Jewish Bicentennial. Cincinnati is truly a gem. We have a history of working together and embracing diversity to lift each other up. We've created a caring and vibrant community with an incredible civic, cultural, and entrepreneurial ecosystem. We are working with so many different groups throughout the whole city to make this bicentennial a very special year-and-a-half event. And we want to thank all of our partners. We want to thank our funders, and we want to especially thank Marie Krulowich Brown, who has been our fearless leader during this whole planning session. And with that, I want to introduce Tamara Harkavy, my co-chair and fearless leader as well.
Partner in crime.
Yes, partner in crime.
I apologize because I understand it's hard to hear back there. It's not. It is. It's not. Oh, good. Okay. So I am thrilled to be co-chairing this with Kim and working on behalf of the Jewish Federation of Cincinnati and the Jewish Foundation, and to see so many of our partners here, from the Skirball Museum, from the Jewish Center. I'm going to leave somebody out. My colleagues at the Federation, and there's a whole lot to tell. So bear with me, and I know all y'all from the media will cherry pick what you're going to put into the 30 or 40 minutes that you're going to spend on this today. But I also want to thank our klezmer band. They came from Dayton and Indy to be here with us today. They're called the Anatevka Klezmer Band, correct? All right, thank you. We love hearing that music. And I want to congratulate the entire committee on what they've done here behind us. This cemetery looks amazing. And you're going to hear from David in a little bit about that. So our purpose for doing this, for this year-long plus celebration, is to elevate, inspire, and connect our communities, the Cincinnati community, with each other, and to tell some stories. And in order to do that, we're going to kick this off on Saturday night, September 25th at Washington Park, with a concert by Modest Yahoo. It's the kickoff of the third biannual Ish Festival, followed by Sunday morning, where we'll come here and formally dedicate this amazing cemetery, and then walk over again with the klezmer band. And I think we have a black line band that's going to march us down 12th Street into Washington Park. But we're also really excited to be able to partner with so many of Cincinnati's rich cultural and historical institutions, from the Cincinnati Museum Center to the Skirball Museum, the Cincinnati Art Museum, the ballet, the symphony, the Mercantile Library, the opera. I could go on and on. We have 50 partners, 30 events, and it's going to culminate in a concert that is a legacy concert for the King. It's the King Records Legacy Concert, which will be October 2022. Finally, I have to just tell you guys that if you want to learn more, it's an ever-changing landscape of really cool stuff. Go to our website, jewishcincinnati200.org. There you'll be able to access all the information and a ton of historical facts. I am going to turn this over to my dear friend, Kay Geiger from PNC Bank, who is here wearing a t-shirt like the rest of us. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Tamara, and thank you, Kim, and thank you, Danielle, and to the entire community. What a moment in history. We are so honored at PNC to be a part of this celebration, a once-in-a-lifetime historic moment for the oldest Jewish community west of the Allegheny Mountains. Incredible. It's hard to imagine the history that we all celebrate in Cincinnati together. And if anything, PNC shares the values of inclusiveness and community and legacy. 160 years we've been together here with the Jewish community. And I have to say, I hope everyone talks about this year-long celebration starting now through October of 2022 is our way to embark on a journey to really understand our Jewish founders, our Jewish friends, and the stories of their families in the past. But there are so many right now here being written that we hope that you will really, really explore it and tell all your friends and family. And it can be virtual, it can be from a distance, it can be all things. So I am incredibly honored to represent PNC because the number of events and ability to share as a community inclusively is really extraordinary. We know, look, we're standing here, it's a city rich in history as a community, but the first known Jew to settle in Cincinnati was back in 1817. And while we have hundreds of stories we're going to hear about, think about Rabbi Isaac Wise, who started the first paper for the Jewish community in the country and is still being published, the Israelite. Or the first college of higher education started here, the Hebrew Union College, right up the street. And of course, Albert Sabin in these days that we know so well, who was the very, very, very fine physician who developed the oral polio vaccine. And yet we don't know what stories will be told 100 years from now. So I think we have a responsibility collectively as a community to make sure we tell that story of today and the past so that in the next 200 years, we'll have the opportunity to have a Jewish community that is vibrant and full of wonderful, wonderful people and families that contribute so greatly. So it is my honor to now introduce David Harris, who is the Executive Director of the Jewish Cemeteries of Cincinnati.
Thank you so much, Kay. And on behalf of Jewish Cemeteries of Greater Cincinnati, our board president, Larry Newman, and the rest of the board, it's really just an honor to be here and to be able to share in this really momentous occasion. I'm so proud of the leadership we have from PNC, the leadership of our Jewish community from the Jewish Federation of Cincinnati and the Jewish Foundation of Cincinnati, and really the leadership of the board of Jewish Cemeteries of Greater Cincinnati for embarking on this initial project to restore and rededicate this historic cemetery, which really has launched us all on this journey of the Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial. We have amazing committee members chaired by David Schwartz and Marlene Ostrow of our board who have helped to conceive of this redesign of this educational plaza that we're creating, and an amazing committee chaired by Sharon Spiegel and Jan Armstrong-Cobb, an Emerita trustee, who are helping to plan amazing programs to celebrate and commemorate these 200 years of Jewish life in Cincinnati. We've been blessed by partnerships with the American Jewish Archives, the Cincinnati Museum Center, and many others that have helped us do research on this historic site, and partners in the neighborhood from ATL Bellhouse Architects, our neighbors next door, who have been great partners and helped conceive of design for this project, as well as the West End Community Council and our dear friends at the Betz-Longworth Historic District, all of whom have been just amazing partners in this project that really does make it feel like a much bigger community-wide opportunity to come together. At Jewish Cemeteries of Greater Cincinnati, we have a sacred trust to honor our dearly departed and maintain their final resting places. But we also have a responsibility and a privilege of preserving and sharing the collective history of our community that's enshrined in the cemeteries. Here we started with one individual, Benjamin Laib, who in 1821, soon after Joseph Jonas, the immigrant that Kay Geiger mentioned, arrived in 1817. And in 1821, Benjamin Laib announced to the few other Jewish community members he knew lived here in Cincinnati that he himself was Jewish, even though he had never lived his life openly as a Jew, and he wished to be buried in consecrated ground. And he tasked them with founding this space to create a Jewish burial ground for that very early Jewish community. And it was really that act that brought those people together and helped them realize that there was a need for Jewish institutions. And out of that grew KK B'nai Israel, now known as Rockdale Temple, the oldest congregation west of the Allegheny Mountains, and everything else that has followed since then. And there is, just as everybody has said here today, an amazing list of institutions and individuals who have helped create this really vibrant community and contributed so much to the city as a whole. The community, of course, is more than the sum of its individuals, and it can accomplish feats that only can be achieved by the collective will and the aspirations of all the members, past, present, and future. And of course, those achievements do not happen in a vacuum. They're the product of the neighborhoods that we lived in and that we still live in today. They're the product of the city as a whole and the ethos that allowed for a Jewish community to become prominent members, active leaders in the community, contributors to its artistic life, its philanthropic life, its education life, and everything else. So we are just absolutely thrilled to be commemorating this 200th anniversary, commemorating the memories of the people that were buried here, as well as all the achievements that they laid the foundations for that have come since then. It's an opportunity to reflect on progress, to strengthen and build bridges, and to share the stories of the Jewish community who, like so many other immigrant and minority communities, have contributed so much to the life of this city. We hope that all of those who are proud of our city and those contributions will join us on September the 26th when we rededicate this sacred ground and then celebrate together at the Ish Festival in Washington Park as we kick off the Jewish Cincinnati Bicentennial. Thank you all so much for being here.
What are you gonna ask? What's going on with you guys?